Okay, class. Last time we have started the topic of the business planning. So generally, the topics that we covered in the last lecture was the what is the business plan, what are the components of the business plan, what was the planning process and types of the plan. Today we are going to complete the one topic was left, that was the decision making. Okay, so we are now going to cover that. So generally, reviewing also side by side, that planning is something that we is a thinking and deciding in advance what is to be done in the future. So generally in the planning, we think about the advance before initiating any business activity or any venture. We do some planning, we do some advanced thinking. Okay, and that thinking helps us to properly execute our activity, our plan, and to make the things done. Whatever is the goal, whatever is the objective, we achieve the objectives in a better way if we have the plan. All right. So generally the question that we answer while making the plan is the what is to be done. I mean, again, the futuristic, why it is to be done. You again ask yourself the reason of doing that action and how the work will be done, who will do the work, when the work will be done, and where the work will be done. The example I have given you was the, just to take an example of, for example, you organize some event in the family or in your college or in your school or in the office. Okay, so you generally ask this question: okay, what is the event, when it is going to be happened, and why we are doing it, and how long this event would be, and who will be the in charge of this event, and who will that all the kinds of activity that you need to done in that event. You just make the list of those activity, and then you assign those activity to different people, and all these things. You allocate the resources, also resources like, for example, financial resources. Okay, so these are the things that we generally do in the planning. Okay, next one is the then there were some certain characteristics of the planning. Then we have seen the planning process. The main points, 10 points that we have discussed were the, first of all, we see the environment, where we are going to see some, we need to study the environmental factors, rather they are allowing us to do or the event or not. Okay, or situation, we name it the situation analysis, and the next one we make the mission and objective. What we review our mission, what are the mission and what are the objective, we set our objectives. On the basis of those objectives, we just establish the planning premises, then do some forecasting, and then on the basis of that forecasting, you decide what are the different ways to do that action. Then you evaluate those ways, and after that you select the best possible way, and then you design your sequence of activities. Okay, and after that you formulate the action plan, then review the planning process. This is what we have discussed. This is generally what we, when we execute the plan, when we do the any activity, we just generally undergo all these steps, knowingly or unknowingly. But the business manager knows that what he is going to do. Okay, he knows what is the environment is allowing it him or not. Well, suppose you are going to organize an event, and on that day you suddenly, it is an outside event, and you suddenly you see the forecast, and in the forecast says that there is going to be a heavy rain or this kind of a thing. So you just this allows you to see that what are the alternative actions that you are going to make. Okay, so if there is a rain outside, so what you are going to do? You are going to do some other arrangement. Might be you may arrange it in the inside the building. You take your event inside the building. So things like this. Similarly, the manager knows that what is the vision of the organization, what is the mission of the organization, and what are the goals, what are the objectives. And what is the then we see the planning premises, then we do the forecasting. So all these things that we generally we execute these things just to assure that what we are going to do, that is basically going to make our event happen successfully, the whatever we have decided to do. So all and each and every point you just consider it, and you just write it down, and you should just decide. Then you decide the different alternative action, what are the best way, what is the best way of doing that thing. Okay, so you have the number of options during the event. Even you have to do so many purchases, you have to do so many arrangements. So there are different alternatives for everything rather. Okay, so for those alternatives, you just, if you are not considering all the possible alternatives, so might be you are missing the best one. So you don't only you determine the alternative courses of action of doing those things, and then you find the best suitable action. Suppose, for example, if you are, I've given you the example in the last lecture, that if you are organizing the farewell party, the selection of the venue is one of the part of that. So where you are going to organize this. A few students might say, okay, it should be in campus. Few say they will give you the number of options. Then you select the best one out of those. Okay, so this is that thing I am talking about. Okay, after selecting the activities, everything is done. Now you design, write down the activities, activity number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the timeline. You decide when the first activity will be completed, who will perform the next activity, when it is going to be started, and all these things. Before the activities, before the execution of the event or the start of the event, and the activities during the event, and those activities that will be at the end of the activity of the event, like the winding up of the things and all these things. Then you formulate the derivative, the action plan, and after that you review the whole planning process, and then you move on. Okay. So then we have seen the what are the different names that you kind of the plans that we do. So we have generally categorized on the basis of the content. We have the strategic planning, we have the tactical plans, we have the operational plans, contingencies plan, and then similarly on the basis of time period, we can say that long-term plans, intermediate plans, short-term plans. So these are the different names, these are different terminologies that we use for different planning. So we should have the knowledge about it, okay, why they are so different, what is the main difference. So at your stage, in this stage, uh, in the early semester, you are just need to know the difference between these things. What are these? So you can have the, just because you are just learning the nature of the planning. Okay, then we have seen the what is the vision. Vision is the your, I mean, a portrait of the future. What you are going intend to do in the future. That in future, that is your, I mean, the framework that you make in your mind, or that define your destination. Okay, so in that direction, you just set your direction, and you make your vision on the basis of that, and then you make your goal. Then you move on. After the vision, we make the mission. And mission is our direct, I mean, the basically the fundamental reason, fundamental purpose of the organization, what organization is actually going to do. Okay, that's the basic. Suppose you make a school, you make a factory, so that is based on your vision. Okay, next, we have seen that what are the objectives. On the basis of these missions and vision and mission, we set your objectives. You make your goals. Okay, what you are going to do. They may be like, for example, your sales goals. You can say, okay, this much sale we have to do in this year. Okay, similarly, you can have your market goal. These markets you are going to I mean, explore, or these market you are going to serve, and these are then your goals about the products. So all these things. So goals are basically your objectives. For example, you make your goal of getting the A grade. This is a personal goal. Similarly, business can set its goals for, like, related to the sales, related to the markets, related to the customers, or so things like this. They can say, okay, we need to increase our market share. Okay, you need to increase to have our open our new shops, our new branches. So these are all the goals that businesses sets on a different point of time. Okay. Okay, moving on, then you make the policies. When you set the goal, after that you make the policies. Policies are the general guidelines. how the manager is going to execute his goal. Okay, because manager, what manager does is manager makes the decisions. Okay, on the basis of that, he on the basis of that he on the basis of the policies, he make the decisions. Okay, for example, you say there is a leave policy in the organization. Okay, leave policy, leave mean or if someone wants to go take the off from the job. So there is a leave policy. Leave policy is what? Okay, like if there is a, for example, if someone is sick, then you will do this with these follow these rules. And if someone is going on the recreation trip, then you will follow these rules. And if there is someone is going on the official duty and he's away from this current job frame job place, you are sending him to some other place to do the work. So that is different. So that is another. I mean, you that is not that what you will do in that case. So in these are the different situations. So generally, a guideline is given to the manager. Okay, for example, if it is someone is sick, so there is a sick policy. There is a policy for the sick leave. So you can allow him for the 1 day leave, 2 day leave, or 3 day leave, and this would be a casual leave, or it would be the earned leave, or whatever leave, or it would be the sick leave. So these are then you make the rules and regulation on the basis of these policies. Okay, similarly there is a policy like you are familiar like with the admission policies. Okay, the exams policies. So you are the students, these policies are being executed on you. So the people who are working in the admission department, the people who are working in the exam department, they are following those policies. On the basis of those policies, those overall guidelines, they make the rules. They make the, I mean, their policies are never say, okay, at this point of time you are going to start the exam. No, this is the rule. Policies are saying that after the admission there will going to be the teaching session, and after the teaching session there will be the midterm exam, and after the midterm exam there would be again the teaching session, second session, and then there will be the final exam. This is the policy. But how, when these exams will be occurred, and how these exams will occur, and who it would be the online or offline. So these are the related to the, I mean, how, so these are the rules basically. They make the rules. Okay, if there is an online exam, online setting, deciding about the online or offline exam is the policy. Then how to execute the online plan, that is related to the rules and regulations. Okay, they make the SOP, they make the, I mean, the procedure for that. They make the, I mean, they make the procedures. They make make the rules. They make the standing operating procedures. So these kind of things. Okay. So policies are generally, what I mean to say is the general guidelines that are followed by the managers. Next one, on the basis of, then we come the strategies. Strategies, about the strategies, I have told you in the last class that it is an overall plan. Okay, overall plan mean generally at the top of the organization, if it is the organization. Okay, like for example, any entity, any business entity, like if you are talking about, for example, you have last time we were discussing the, if you have the cricket team, so team will have his own strategy while when they will play as a team, I mean as a whole team, you will make a strategy. Similarly, if you are going for the tournament, you will make an overall strategy for going into the tournament. Okay, what would be your team format and how you will play the match, all these. Similarly, the organizations, as a organization, whole organization, they make the overall long-term plans for themselves, for their survival. They make the 5 years plan, they make the 10 years plan, and on the basis of these plans, they just see, because I mean they see into the future. They collect the information from the environment, that what is going to be the condition of the political condition in the future, what is going to be the, I mean, the technological position, what is, so all these things, what will be the economic condition. So they have the surveys, they do the research, market research, on the basis of, they do the environmental scanning, and then they decide what they should go do, what is the direction they should adopt. Okay, so these are the strategies. Similarly, these days, if you see that there is a COVID out there. Okay, in the COVID, what we are going to do, every businessman is thinking, no, what we need to do, because government is putting, sometimes the government is putting us on the lockdown. So similarly, the customer are avoiding to come on the shops most of the cases. So what they have to do? So there is a opening of the online activities, the opening of the online businesses, both on the part of the customers and on the part of the businesses. So customers are ready to purchase the things online. So now, if the businessman is not making the strategies in the light of this demand of the customer, if they are not aware about the demand of this customer, that customer are ready to purchase online. If they are not developing their businesses, I mean, they are not, I mean, ready for this. So what would happen? They will just lose the customer. Somebody else will, or their competitor will go, and then if he will offering the online activity, then definitely all the customer will go to him. So these are the strategies. Strategies are basically looking into towards the environment and then decide according to the environment situation. You just set the plan. A very good example is in the cricket. Suppose you play a cricket tournament, and there are the you just analyze yourself. Okay, analyze mean you just see that what is the, for example, if I say you if I take you to the whiteboard, like for example, you have the team. Okay, in the team you just see your strength, your bowling strength or your batting strength. Suppose you are good in the batting. So the next team, what are the possibilities when you play match with the other teams, for example? Just to explain you simply in a very simple terms, what the generally the strategy, what we do in the strategy. Okay, strategy is basically looking at your opponent or looking at the environment, because this, if this is your uh, competitors, and they are definitely outside the environment. So you just see, compare your strength with them. Like your batting is strong, your bowling is weaker. Then you see if you have the match with this team, might be their batting and their bowling both are weak. This is a case their batting and their bowling, uh, like their bowling is strong, their batting is weak. This is a case like their batting is strong, their bowling is weak, like you. Okay, and then this is a team there who has the bowling is strong and the batting is strong. So just I'm asking you a simple question, that when you play with this team, these are the two extreme, and when you play with this team looks better than you because they are good in bowling, they are good in batting. You have to design the different strategy for while you are playing with this team. So when you play with this team, which comparatively you say this is, you can very easily handle them because their bowling is weak, their batting is weak, their experience is less. So you can easily, your strategy is different. You might score high here, you make your margin, you defeat them with a bigger margin. But here you will just try to contain, try to be, I mean, save your wicket. So your strategies will be different. So here, these are the kind of the situation. Here, if the bowling is strong, then the batting is weak. If the batting, this team is similar to you. I mean, there's a possibility. It depends on the situation. If you are doing, I mean, if batting is good, their batting is good, your bowling is weak. If, for example, their bowling is weak, you are going to score high. If your bowling is weak, they are score high. So it's mean this is a high scoring match. So in that way, your batting has to perform. If somehow or the other, the who will win the match here, the one who will perform in the fielding, who will get the catch, who will not drop the catch, who will do the better fielding, they make the run outs, they make the better strategy, they keep the pressure on, they keep the bowling change. So all these things. So this will make the. So this strategy is totally different from the one which is you are going to adopt here. Same is the case here. Here bit different, but here if his batting is weak, but your bowling is also weak. Okay, so but his bowling is strong, so that may give you the. But your batting is also strong, so you can equate your, I mean, yourself with this while playing with this team. So again, this is the same strategy that you are going to adopt for this team. The team number one, team number two, team number three, team number four. So that strategy, three and four are almost, you have to follow the same kind of strategy. But for team three, four, and five, you have to have the different strategies. So these are the strategies. I mean, you make the different plans. You say the strategies are the different plans on the basis of different strategy. If your opponent will you adopt, will be in this position, then you will adopt this strategy. If your opponent is in this position, you will adopt this strategy. So same is the case in the businesses. You always, every time you see the strength and weaknesses of your business, of your competitors, and you see, check the environment there, what kind of opportunities they are giving you, what kind of threat is there, like here as in this case, where your competitors are strong. So you just design your strategy in that, in that. Okay. So similarly, then you make the, moving on, then you make the tactical plan. Strategy is the top level plan, then tactical plans are your middle level. I mean, at the manager level, you make the plan, like marketing plan, marketing department has their plans. They have the, similarly, you have the, for example, the finance department has a plan, procurement department has the plan. So all these middle level management, they make the plan. They make plan for what? They make the plans for the operational level, because they will, they set the goals for these. I mean, they set the goals at this, the tactical goals. They set this goals for the operational level to execute. Okay. So next come is the operational plans. Then operational plans are basically plans based on the goal set by the tactical level. Okay, the upper level. So just to make you understand, by make you little diagrammatically, I explain you. For example, this is a strategic level. This is a strategic level. They make, these are the three levels. Okay, this strategic level set the goals, and they said these goals are transferred to these tactical level. Okay, this is a strategic level, this is a operational level, and these goals are then moved to the operational level. So on the basis of these goals, they make their plans. On the basis of these goals, they make their plans. So this is how we make. Generally, at the strategic level, they make your vision, they make your mission, and they set their goals, and they make the overall strategy. Okay, generally these strategies are generally, they set the direction for the whole organization. Sometimes you are working at the, like for example, if you are working at the corporate level, or you are working at the business level, or you are working at the functional level. So strategies are basically dealing at the corporate level, or if there is a corporate, or then you can go to the business level and then the functional level. So if you have, for example, what are the corporate level, that concept also you need to know. Like for example, there is a business like, you have the sugar mill, you have the cement factory, you have the flour mill, you have the other business units in the, and these are all different business units. These are the businesses. These are different independent organizations. But if these are all being organized by the same board of having the same board of directors, or same group who is having the, is the owner of these firms, so they will definitely have one level above this, which is a top level, which is called the, consist of the board of directors, the shareholders, I mean all those things, the owners. They, this level, the decisions or the plans or the thinking or the talks which are being done at this level, they are called the, that is called the corporate level. Okay, so when we talk about the corporate level, it means the any level which is above the business level, and then there come the businesses, and again in the businesses you see there are the functional units and all these things. Okay, but if you have the single organization, you don't have the multiple organization, then okay, this is your top level, this is your strategic level, this is your tactical level, and this is your operational level. So these are the general understanding. When you study more in the next semester for more books, you will, different subjects, you will understand all these things, particularly in your semester when you learn the strategic management. You will see the further detail of this strategy. But here at this level, we're just having developing the basic understanding about all these things. What are they? Okay. Moving on. Then the operational plans, in the operational plans are basically divided into the two kind of the plan. One are the single use plans, okay, which are having the limited, which are used for the limited time. Okay, they are the time limitation. For example, you have the programs, certain program, like for example, you say at you say you have to organize an event, Definitely, an event has some starting point and it has got some ending time. After that, it will be finished. So we have conducted the job fair in the college. So job fair has definitely on some date it will be executed. There will be the whole planning before that, and there it will have the starting point, and then it will have the ending point, and that's it. Okay. Similarly, you make the budgets, 1 year budget, 2 year budget. Similarly, you have seen the projects. What are the projects? Projects like you need to make some building. Your organization is a construction company. You need to make some building. Definitely, they will start building, making the building, and one day you will hand over to the party. You are building the bridge, fixed time. So these are the so for these kind of project you make the single use plan. Okay, but sometime during these even these in the during the the life of the organization, as long as the ultimately organization also has to operate. Okay, some organizations are the project based organization. Just I have given you the example of this construction company. Construction company is itself a company. It is not meant to be to be finished after some time. They are there, they exist. Okay, they have their timeline, but in during this timeline, what they do, they have the different projects. They start take one project, they finish that project, they move over. At the time, they might be working on the two different projects. But as an organization, they have to have their permanent employees. They have their their designers. They have their architects. They have their the field force. They have the engineers. They have the masons. They all the procurement. They are the supply chain. So all these things, so they have the finance department. So they are all there, very much they are there. So for them, they make this to execute those things. I mean, even for example, the how to to uh, suppose how you to get the project. Okay, how to do the project planning and how to execute the project. So all these things they will have definitely they have some policy for that, so some procedure for that, some rules for that. So these are the rules, there are the policies. Similarly, in your college and university, there is an admission policy, there is a rules for conducting the exams, there is exam policy, rules for conducting the exam. Similarly, there is a academic policy which says about how to conduct the classes and what the rules and regulations of conducting these classes. So both in the organizations, both types of plans exist. So you need to have the aware about these things. Okay. Next, moving on. So this we have covered in the last class. Now I am just revising it for your convenience before moving on. Okay, next, you have the handouts. You can read the detail of these things, and also in the books you can see the further detail of it. Okay, then we have seen the what is the contingency plan. Contingency plan are basically your backup plan. Okay, backup plan mean in a way in some time unseen situations occurs. Okay, roadblocks or some strike or some unseen occurs in the organizational environment, or even sometime your for example your machinery get they stop working, there is some malfunctioning in that machinery, your computer might be, your server shut down. What you are going to, you should have some backup plans for that so that your activity may not be executed. So sometimes there are the basically situations you have to have the knowledge. If there is a sometime emergency situations, a crisis situation, it is inevitable. In any case, you have to complete the task. You cannot survive. You cannot let the things delay for another 1 day or 2 days. So in that case, you should these contingencies plans play a very important role. But if you have the time, this is not a crisis situation. You can wait for the technician to come or the experts to come to repair the things for you. So you can just wait for there. So these are the things. So contingencies plans are always there to help you meet these unseen circumstances. Okay. Okay. Next point is the decision making. So generally, when we say we are doing the planning, what it means basically we are doing the decision making in the planning. The one of the very important, you say, uh, the ingredient of the planning is the decision making. Ingredient of the planning is the decision making. You make the decisions different point of time. Okay. So now we are going to see what is the decision making. So understanding this concept is very important, so that you can. So this will complete our topic as well on the planning. Excuse me. Okay, so decision making is basically, decision making mean it is derived from the Latin word the decider. Okay, which means the cutting off. Okay, so the decision involves cutting off of the alternative between those that are desirable. So generally, what happens is, what you, when we say you have the decision is when you have the different options to for you to decide. When you have the different option, when you have no option, then you have no decision to make. That is what you have to execute. So I have given you the example that last time, that if you go to the office, or while you're traveling, you suddenly find that there is a traffic block. Okay, while coming to the office, you find the traffic is blocked for one way or the other. What you are going to do? You have to follow the another course of action. If you don't know about these courses of action, these alternatives, so you cannot take. So there is no need of decision making. You have to just sit and wait. Okay, but if there is an option, then your mind start thinking, okay, either I should go for the alternative, or should I have to wait. Often this thing, in the morning time, if you come from the Faizabad to the Islamabad, you find there the thousands of cars are, I mean, moving towards Islamabad, or some also because of some accident, or because of some other reason, some traffic blocks. You can see a long queue of the cars are. I mean, at that is the time. Many times you just think, oh, we should, I mean, turn towards the right. We should take a turn towards the left, and there is a way we can reach our destination. So all these things. So people who are not aware about these alternatives, these different paths, so they cannot make decisions. So decision making, for the decision making, one of the important thing is the alternative. So if you have the alternative, these are the different, I mean, the courses of, I mean, for example, these are your courses of action. Okay, different ways for you to follow. If you have the different ways, different choices, you have to then do that. What you need to do, you have to choose. You have to choose which one. You have to choose the best one. Why it is, how it is best, if it is most suitable to you, most suitable to you. While when you do the purchasing, for example, you go and you buy something in the shop, what you do basically, you do the decision making. Every manager similarly, or even the customers are doing the decision making. They, what you do, you select the product. Okay, among the different products, how you, what is your selection criteria? Definitely it may be the price, it may be the quality, it may be the brand image, or etc etc. On the basis of this, then you see your own position. Okay, if you are price conscious, you are brand conscious, you are quality conscious, and you have the ability to purchase, then this is all the decisions are. So in the organization, you also make the decisions. You have the different alternatives for you. So we have the different definitions of decisions here. So let's see. Okay, one of the, this definition is the, by the Terry, that the decision making is the selection based on some criteria. Okay, you definitely the criteria, just I have given you the examples. You can have some criteria, something in your mind. On the basis of you, the criteria, for example, if you are stuck in the traffic, the what is the criteria that you need to reach in time? So if you have the three alternative ways available to you, okay, so on the basis of these three alternative ways, you say which path is the most suitable path for you. Okay, and which path is taking not much longer time for you, and which path is not taking, I mean, consuming that much petrol, your fuel. And you also see that might be there is a possibility that if it is stuck, then what you gonna do. So all these things, so this is basically you set some criteria in your mind. Okay, so decision making is another definition is that decision making is a kind of a judgment about the different, I mean, based on your needs, based on your means, based on your goals, based on your, I mean, the strength, I mean, your I mean, strength, I mean, your resources available to you. So basically, decision making is a decision is a choice that you make based on the different alternatives. Okay? So this is the general basic definition that ultimately decision making involves. It is a process of establishing goals, tasks, and searching for alternatives for decision problems. Okay. So generally, what are the steps? Three steps generally we make. For example, first of all, there is an identification of that the identification of. Okay, I go on the whiteboard. The first situation is the first thing is that you need to identify the problem. Second thing is, after identification of the problem, then you evaluate the, or you can say analyze the alternatives, or you can also say analyze the situation. So you can give different name. And then third one is the decision making. What it means, you are going to select or the choose best option. Identify, evaluate the alternative, analyze the situation, and decide the decision making, selecting the choose the best possible option available. So generally these are steps. When there is no problem, so there is no decision making. So first you need to identify the problem that that is asking for the situation, that is asking for the decisions. No, this is very interesting. Some problems are the, I mean, have the positive outcome and some have the negative outcomes. Negative outcome is definitely something which is giving you the, I mean, stopping you to achieve your goal. Whereas the positive outcomes are, suppose you find that there is you have the some new market is open. Okay, and and in this new market, you if you open the shop in that new market, or if you, I mean, you serve the customers in that market in new area, might be new locality has been developed. For example, you say barrier town, and the new opening is new sector has been developed. So there is a chances that if you serve the, you need to find there are definitely the customers there. So if you are, so you definitely will be interested to do the, I mean, to serve that market. So if you are not serving that market, so it's when you are losing the opportunities. So this is if you are not, so losing doesn't mean that they will going to give you some negative impact, but they will not giving you the positive impact. So these are the generally the opportunities. We say it, the opportunities. Okay, and say opportunities right here. And where these are not opportunities, these are the kind of the they give you the losses, they give you the, I mean, damage in any form. Okay, that will take you away from your goals. So problems doesn't mean that they are the negative only. They can be proposed, they can be in the form of the opportunities, because both are, even it is opportunity, even if you are going to this new market, you have to decide either you want to go or not. Next one is the, you will, on the basis of that, you will then analyze the situation, you will evaluate the alternatives, and then after that you will make the decision. So these are the basically, while decision making, you have to pass through these three general three stages. So okay, moving on. Just hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. Next point is the what are the different I mean the terminology that we are using. Uh, one is the difference between the programmed and the non-programmed decision. Another one is the difference between the strategic and the tactical. So these are very much understandable. Like strategic decisions are the decision taken made by at the strategic level. Tactical decisions are decision taken at the tactical level, okay, manager level. And similarly, programmed and non-programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are basically what they are. I just explain it to you. Programmed decisions are they are kind of these these are the routine decisions. They are the structured decisions. Okay, structured decision like these kind of you can say the rules and regulations are there to follow these follow these rules. Okay, so these are the program decisions. Whereas non-program decisions are the non-routine non-routine decisions. Okay, so program decisions are what are the program decisions? Program decisions are basically they are the routine decisions. They are the one which are repetitive in nature. Like for example, you say repetitive. Like you have the classes daily, it has been repeated every week. So these are for conducting these classes. All these things, how to conduct these classes. These are routine decisions. Okay, similarly when someone is opening the plant in a factory, so there is a proper procedure. He has to daily open the plant and daily shut down the plant at the end of the day. So these are the routine decisions. Okay, similarly when you hire somebody, some employees in the organization or some joins, so how he joins, what is the procedure for joining, routine decision. Someone is retired or someone is leaves the job, what is the, how to do, how to sign the contract. So these are the generally some things that exist there. They are in the form of the routine you have to. So these are the program decision. Everything is written about this decision. The people who are the working on it, they are the experts. They have the experience. They know how to do their task. So, but these the characteristics of these tasks is the decision is that they have the standard operating procedure. They have the rules. So they are number of time like admission every semester there is an admission in your university. So this is this is a routine this routine matter. So in the routine matter are the decisions that are taken for conducting this, like giving the ad, conducting the meeting, giving the ad, and deciding what to, so all these things, and when the student will apply and what would be the fees. So these are the program decisions. Next one is the non-program decisions. These are decisions which are generally occur I mean they are not in the mind of the people in the that some situation might arise or that will ask for the decision. These are the unseen for the like for example just for example told you the contingency. If there is some contingency situation, then there is no it's a new situation for you. So what you are going to do, like this is a covered in the covered, what you have decided in the all the decision that during the covered you have made is a non-programmed decision. Okay, it's the like smart lockdown is a basically a non-programmed decision. Okay, there is no for example this is a situation that is a covered that has make them to, because it is not a generally been we have never experienced this thing in before. So in the organization, two types of decisions are held. I mean, you have to decide sometimes either what to do. So then at that time the managers sit together and they do the brainstorming and they decide what to do. And what. So these two kind of decisions. So if we are saying that all the decision in the organization, the program decision, this is not right. Okay. So basically, non-program decisions are taken on the basis of your, you can say, uh, like on the basis of the experience, on the basis of intuition, okay, and some basis of some research, some information you have. So these decisions are, I mean, but these decisions are basically quick decisions, non-program decisions. Time is a matter. Time plays a very important role in the non-program decisions. Okay, next comes the next point is okay. What are the conditions that I mean asking for? The three types of condition are there that we have discussed. One is a certainty condition, uncertainty, risk condition. Okay, so basically these are the three conditions that require the decision. Certainty is mean everything is known to you. Information, basically information plays a very important role. You know, have the all the knowledge about the situation. So this is a condition of certainty. Okay, that is mean you are sure about the things. You know all the alternative, you all know all the possibilities. Uncertainties, I mean, like you are 50-50, you are not sure. You are not sure. Okay, but you know, like you don't know all the alternatives. You don't know, you don't know all alternatives. So you don't know all the possibilities. Okay, you need to do some further studies to make it the certain. So these are the situations. Sometimes if the time is short, then the condition is uncertain, and time is also short, then it becomes a crisis situation. Sometimes there is a risk. You are, I mean, totally there is a no information sometimes, or very less, no, or in the risk situation there is a no at all, no information at all, or the very less information about the different alternative or the situation. So if you take some decision, you don't know what's gonna happen. So these are the decisions which are very difficult to take. Like in these days, government is thinking to open the schools and colleges and the businesses. So this is a risk situation. You got me? They don't know what's going to happen. They are just further doing analysis. They are giving you the dates. They are giving you the time. Okay, we will see. We will decide on that day. So managers have to have to. I mean, handle. Have to face these kind of a situation. So you should be familiar with this as well. Okay. Next one is the uh, decision making styles. I mean, this is also very interesting for you to know. Like, for example, there are different ways that you can make decision. Like, for example, you can make the logical decision, rational decision based on the scientific methodology. Okay, you just analyze, you collect the information, you analyze information, and then you decide on the basis of the data, on the basis of all the analysis, proper financial analysis, or the mathematical analysis, or all this analysis, market analysis. Intuitive mean based on your, I mean, intuition. I mean, it may be intuition may be based on your experience. Intuition may be based on your mood. Intuition may be based on the situation. So you don't plan basically. So you sometime, and oftenly we have seen the routine decisions are generally made on the basis of the intuitions. Okay, then the predisposed, sometime you have already something, you have made up your mind that this is a step you are going to do. If someone will this is how you will decide. So that is a predisposed, you have already in your mind something to do. So so that's it. So these are the three different kind of situation that we styles rather in which we make the decisions. Okay, if we are going through the process, we see these are the different two examples I have given you, the decision making process. If I select this one, this looks better one, like specific objective. You first select your specific objective for making the decision. Then you identify the problem. Then you select the alternative actions. Alternative mean alternative for solution to handle the problem. These are the alternatives. And then you evaluate each alternative both scientifically or based on your intuition. It depends upon you. And then after that, you do the select the best alternative, and then you take action and you review the result. If result is good, okay. If not, then you change your alternative. So this is how we make the decision. This is how we make the decision in our daily life as well. So this is a decision making process. This is a very natural process, and that everyone pass through this. Okay, class. So that's it. So this was the that's all for today. So in today's lecture, we have seen we have completed the topic of the planning. That this much was the syllabus. That's it for you to cover in the planning, because we are not going in detail at this level. So we have learned what is the planning. We have learned what is the purpose of the planning. We have learned what are the characteristics of the planning. We have learned what are the different kinds. What is the process of the planning, and what are the we do in these steps. And then we have seen what are the different kinds of plan. We have seen different terminology with different kinds of try to understand the nature of the plan. And at the end of that, the basic ingredient of the planning is the decision making. We have seen what is the decision making, what are the different types of decision making, and what is the decision making process. So this is all we have to. So you have the notes with you as well, and also you have the books. So you just go into the planning chapter and read through it. I also send you the assignment, so you just do that to cover up the syllabus. Okay, so there would be the makeup class for the revision class as well for this topic as well, for those who are not able to attend the lecture. So that I will announce the time later on. Okay, so okay class, thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.